For the record, I just want to say I did call that Roboppy would be important to the plot later on. I can't remember which review it was. If I bother to find it, I'll put it up now. This is going to sound weird, but I really feel like Roboppy is going to do something over the next few episodes because they keep cutting back to him. Like, why do they keep going back to Roboppy? It turns out it was for a purpose. I had duplicated his data, stored it in Roboppy, so that if he did something like he did in the last episode where he did a self-sacrifice kind of move, would be able to be brought back. Now, it isn't so much as a Deus Ex Machina kind of like, well, why doesn't everyone just do this? There was some risks involved. It's never been attempted before, and he was worried about doing it because he had to replicate his data perfectly, else when he came back, he might have lost his free will, he might not have been the same person. So he does say in the episode he had to risk his existence on this move, and so it was still a gamble, and it did pay off. My only problem with it was he wasn't gone for long enough. This is something that he could have come back maybe like next season or something. I don't know. Like Yusaku's feeling sad that Ai's gone and he's messing about with Roboppy. And Roboppy does that thing that Baymax does where he's like, Ai's still here. He says, no, Roboppy, Ai's gone. He says, no, Ai's still here. And then bring him back. But if that would have been the case, then they wouldn't have been able to get the all of the different elements together in Ai for what I thought was really cool, because Ai comes back and Yusaku, he's not as surprised as I thought he would. He was very emotional in the last episode. He was really shocked that Ai would sacrifice himself. But then as Ai like goes, hey, I'm back, he's just like, you took longer than I thought you would. Or he says, you took longer than you normally do, or something like that when he leaves him. But he had no idea that he had this backup, so it seemed as if he did know, but it also seemed like he didn't know, so I wasn't really too sure about that. But he uses this opportunity to go, because he's in the little sphere thing now, the conscious ball. I forgot what the conscious ball is. I thought because it was black now and it had his data in, Yusaku could have used it for a storm access, master storm access draw, but instead what he does is he goes into Mirror VRAINS, goes into Bowman's subconscious, and we see all the other eyes, like, they're all attached to the wall. And it's nice because he gets to have a little conversation with most of them. The Earth Ignis doesn't really talk, nor does the Wind Ignis, which I was kind of annoyed about because the Wind Ignis has had the Light Ignis taken out of him now, because normally the Wind Ignis had red eyes, but he had purple eyes this time, so you know he was just like back to normal. And his eyes look quite sad now, like they look like little circular sad eyes. So I'd like to have seen him talk a bit more if his personality would have changed, because they did say his personality was different until he was corrupted. Lightning is carrying on being a bit of a dick, and oh man, they're all here, come here. Luckily they all give their abilities or their skills to Ai, and luckily they're able to take lightnings as well, and they can give it to him as well. Which, the only thing I was a little bit annoyed about as well was when Yusaku got out that really awesome ace monster, which we'll get to in a bit. He attacks with all of the elements. Like, I think he started off with, he did a fire attack, flame tempest attack, then he did a water one, then he did an earth one, then he did a wind one, but he never did a light one, and he never did a dark one. He did do one last one, which was like all of them combined, which I guess those two are like, the light and the dark are like the bread, and everything else is like the meat and the salad and stuff inside, and they kind of push it all together. But I would have liked a little bit of each one, but it don't worry. Something I had been hoping to see, and I had mentioned it a few times, didn't actually happen. Yes, all of the AIs did go into Ai, but he didn't become a divine Ignis. I really thought he would. When I saw that sort of glowing ball of all the different elements, I thought when I absorbed it, like he'd become sort of like all this multicolored, sort of an amalgamation of it all. Like turn gold, maybe not gold, but silver or something, I don't know. And he's just like the combination of them all. And then perhaps in the next episode when he brings everyone back, we all know all the AIs are probably gonna, well, the AIs might not come back, but everyone else is. But if the AIs do come back, then they could like separate out of him. But that was something I was hoping for, and that didn't happen. He didn't become a divine Ignis, but he does give Yusaku a brand new card. So Yusaku does this huge play, gets out all these monsters. He gets out his ritual summoning. Even Bowman's like, "Why is he getting out a ritual monster?" He gets out an Xyz monster, and he's already got a Synchro in the grave and a Fusion in the grave. And he summons a Link 5 monster, which is Link 5. Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid, which I really like the name. I also like the look of the monster as well. I thought it looked really cool. I mean, all the Firewall monsters look quite similar. That's their only problem with them, but I think Dark Fluid Dragon looks really cool. It matches what you think the colour would be, like Dark Fluid. It gives me kind of like a black and greeny kind of colour scheme, and that's what it had. That monster was very, very strong. I was reading a few people what they thought about it. If it was just another OP final episode monster. But like, it seems good, because it specifically only can be used in a Cyburst deck, so it's like the ultimate Cyburst boss monster. It will probably have some nerfs when it comes out, because its ability is, for every extra deck monster in the graveyard and ritual monster of each different types, so you can only have one of each. So because he had Fusion Synchro, Ritual, and Xyz, he had 4 monsters. He gains a counter for each one, and for every counter he gains 2,500 attack. So its base attack was 3,000, and it gained 10,000 attack on that one. So it had 13,000. And of course, Bowman had I think it was an 8,000 attack point monster at the time. And every time he attacked into it, Bowman would use his ability to like double its attack. Yeah, he doubled to 8. It was 4,000, doubled to 8,000, and then it had the ability to destroy Yusaku's field, but Yusaku's monster also had the ability to negate the ability, so every time he used it, he'd use a counter, and when it negated him, it was allowed to attack again. So it created this infinite loop, which is how Yusaku was able to defeat Bowman. So with this infinite loop, every time he attacked, Bowman was forced to negate, so he could attack again. So that just kept going over and over and over again, until Bowman ran out of counters. He had 0 attack. The Firewall Dragon had, I think, 3,000 left over. He did the combined attack and won. Bowman took the loss quite well. He didn't, like, freak out or anything. Like, all those sort of sinister-looking moments he had in the past, I don't know why they were showing him them, because he took it really well. He was like, yep, I guess you've won, Yusaku, well done. You are my greatest rival, and I'm going to disappear now with Haru. That was he found his heart, I guess, the love in his heart. But just want to make one point. He says he's Yusaku's greatest rival. Never beat Yusaku, so I don't know what the criteria is to be a Yu-Gi-Oh rival. I would have thought it'd been people that are like, you win some and you lose some against each other. I guess Kaiba was Yugi's rival, even though Kaiba never really beat Yugi without cheating. So, I don't know. I guess they were rivals. I wouldn't have called that rivals, though, but whatever he wants to go to his digital grave with, that's fine. Bowman says one more interesting thing. He says that, you have to live with the fact that you're going to be the reason for the end of the Ignises, or the downfall of the Ignises. So, when we get the next season, which I think is starting, well, the next episode is the last episode of this season, I think, and then the one after that, I do think it just goes straight into the new season without, like, a break. But that might be the ramifications of all this. People might not be looking so kindly at AIs based on everything they've done so far. And then obviously the Knights of Hanoi are going to come back. The episode ends where it's like, the cost was too high, which reminded me of Infinity War. But it's like, the cost was so high, I don't know if this victory was worth it. And then literally the preview for the next episode, just everyone's coming back to life. So everyone's just going to come back. Whether the AIs do, I'm not too sure. Because bringing back Lightning could give some good closure. He could make a realization. But then again, it could be troublesome. So I don't think the AIs are going to come back. But we'll have to see. So overall, I thought the episode was good. I'd love to know what you guys thought in the comment section below. What did you think of Bowman and Yusaku's duel? I thought it was a bit short, but I guess it accomplished what it was set out to do. So yeah, I guess it was okay. I did enjoy it. Guys, thank you all for watching this review. There'll be another one next week for the final episode. But other than that, thank you for watching. Catch you later.